My grandma Gloria is 74 years old, owns 12 ceramic frogs, and types on her phone using one finger like she's defusing a bomb. One morning, she called me in a panic. "Christopher," she whispered dramatically, "I think the FBI wants my Apple gift cards." "That is definitely a scam," I said. Apparently someone emailed her pretending to be a government agent and claimed she owed criminal taxes. Their instructions were to buy $500 in gift cards immediately, but Grandma Gloria had a plan. "Oh, I know it's fake now," she said. "I decided to mess with him." That should have scared me more than it did. She called the scammer back and put him on speaker. The guy demanded the card numbers. Grandma adjusted her glasses and slowly read 472. The scammer leaned in eagerly. Bingo. What? The next number is bingo. "Ma'am, this is serious." "Oh, I'm serious too," she snapped. "You almost gave me a heart attack during my soap opera." Then she spent the next 10 minutes pretending not to understand technology. "How do I rotate the gift card? Where's the barcode? My microwave says 12. The scammer became increasingly unhinged. Finally, Grandma yelled, "You think you can outsmart Gloria? I raised 3 children in the 80s with no internet." The guy hung up. Grandma called me back laughing so hard she wheezed. I think I scared him. Honestly, she probably did. Every Friday after school, Marcus bought the same thing from the old vending machine in the gym hallway: sour gummies and a grape soda. The machine was ancient. It rattled like it was possessed and sometimes gave out 2 snacks instead of 1. One rainy afternoon, Marcus put in his dollar and pressed B4. Instead of gummies, a folded piece of paper dropped out. It read, "Do not go home at 4:15. Marcus blinked. Okay, weird. His friend Tyler walked over holding a basketball. "Why do you look like you saw a ghost?" Marcus showed him the note. Tyler burst out laughing. "Your vending machine's a fortune cookie now." At exactly 4:10, Marcus started walking home anyway because obviously a vending machine couldn't predict the future. Then he heard screeching tires. A giant delivery truck slid through the intersection ahead, barely missing a car before smashing into a streetlight. Sparks flew everywhere. Marcus froze. If he had crossed 5 seconds earlier, he would have been right there. Tyler slowly turned toward him. "Bro." Marcus looked down at the note again. The ink had changed. "You're welcome." The next Monday, Marcus returned to the vending machine carrying $3 and a deep respect for whatever supernatural mechanic lived inside it. He nervously pressed B4. Another note dropped. "The meatloaf in the cafeteria today is not meat." Marcus quietly skipped lunch. Probably a good call. In the winter of 1999, a man in Minnesota got stranded during a blizzard on a back road nobody used much anymore. His name was Tom, and he was driving home after helping his brother repair a tractor outside a small farming town. Snow had been falling all afternoon, but weather reports said the storm would stay light. They were wrong. By the time Tom started driving home, the roads had nearly disappeared under blowing snow. Wind shoved his truck sideways every few seconds, and visibility dropped so low he could barely see past the hood. Then the engine died. At first, he thought it was the cold. He tried the key again and again until the battery weakened into a slow clicking sound. Silence, no houses nearby, no cell service back then, and temperatures dropping below 0. Tom later said the scariest part wasn't the cold, it was how fast the world disappeared. The snow swallowed everything. Fences, ditches, roads. Even the sound of the wind felt distant after a while. He stayed in the truck for over an hour, trying to keep warm with a blanket and an old hunting coat, but the cold kept getting worse. Finally, he made a decision that probably saved his life. He started walking. He couldn't see where he was going. He just followed the line of fence posts barely visible through the storm. Sometimes he'd lose sight of them completely, and have to feel around in waist-deep snow to find the wire again. After nearly 30 minutes exhausted and freezing, he saw a light. Just one, a yellow porch light glowing through the storm. He stumbled toward it and pounded on the door so hard he nearly fell over. An older couple opened it and immediately pulled him inside. The woman wrapped blankets around him, while the husband called emergency services. Tom survived with mild frostbite on 2 fingers. The next morning, rescuers found his truck less than half a mile from a deep drainage ditch hidden beneath the snow. Officials believed if he had tried driving even another minute, the truck would have slid straight into it. Years later, Tom still talked about that porch light. He said he remembered almost nothing from the walk through the storm, except that light appearing out of nowhere in the dark. And every winter after that, he kept an extra blanket, boots, and emergency candles in his truck. Because he'd tell people, "You never think it'll happen to you until the road disappears." In 1987, a family in Illinois started hearing noises inside the walls of their house. At first, it sounded small. Scratching movement, occasional thumps at night. They assumed it was raccoons. The father checked the attic multiple times but found nothing. Pest control also found no signs of animals. Then things got worse. Food began disappearing from the kitchen overnight. Cabinet doors were left open in the morning. The mother started noticing muddy footprints near the laundry room. Even though all the doors were locked, one night their teenage daughter woke up around 3 a.m. She heard breathing near her bed. She thought it was one of her parents. But when she opened her eyes, nobody was there. The next morning, the family searched the house again. They were terrified. That's when the father noticed something unusual behind a storage shelf in the basement, a small opening hidden behind boxes. It led into a narrow crawl space beneath the house. He crawled inside with a flashlight and found blankets, food wrappers, empty soda cans. Then he found something worse, a man. The intruder had apparently been secretly living inside the crawl space for days, possibly weeks. He came out at night while the family slept. Police later arrested him nearby after he fled through a basement window. Investigators believed he had entered through an old exterior access hatch the family didn't even know existed. The daughter later said the scariest part wasn't discovering the man, it was realizing the breathing she heard beside her bed had probably been real.